Welcome to devlog 1 of the absurd card game. I should have gotten this done sooner. Anyway, we are starting off. Both players are going to be rolling the dice to see who goes first. The top player will be the one going first. The player going first draws 7 cards to start. The player going second draws 8 cards, and then they will mulligan by choosing cards they want to put back into the deck, but before they shuffle them back into the deck, they redraw the amount they put back in, and then they will draw. So here the top player is deciding what cards to put away, keeping some pretty good early game cards. The top deck is playing something more aggressive and fast-paced, and the bottom deck is playing something a bit more control-y, a bit more wins in the late game-y. Oh, and hey look, I remembered to turn off the tabletop HUD this time. The game is pretty significantly different. Like, for example, the second player drawing an 8th card and then getting to start with a mana before the first turn player goes first. And then the first turn player does get to draw 1 card, but I've also changed it so you draw 2 cards at the start of your turn. But if you go first, you only draw 1. But there is still no summoning sickness. Yeah, there's some new cards here too, and I've changed a lot of cards that are shown off in devlog 0. Angel has a completely different effect, for example. Now we're going to go back to the aggressive player. They're going to put High School Sister into the magic area to put out a High School Sister. And then they're going to attack for 6. I thought about raising the life amount, but I think 40 has been working perfectly fine. Plus, I like the idea of the starting life and the deck size being the same amount. Now, Shuichi is getting played, and he has the end phase effect that if he is in the healthy row on the end phase, he gets to choose 1 card and it will not untap on the next untap phase. So High School Sister will not be untapping. Trampoline is a card that pays for 2, but after you pay, it goes back to the hand. So it kind of ramps you out quickly, but... Sorry. It ramps you out quickly, but it's kind of like quick tempo, but it doesn't really give you long-term gain. And here he's retroactively... he's dealing 4 damage because Shuichi did 2 when Work Dad attacked him, so 2 plus 4 equals 6. Quick math. And so that will put the Work Dad into the awkward row. Putting the second Shuichi into the magic area. Yeah, the control deck is really going to want to build up to Walter White as their win condition, but... Yeah, are they going to play Jesse here? He's thinking about the stink. Now, instead the Jesse Pinkman will come out. That'll allow him to put the top 3 cards of his deck into his abandoned pile, but he gets to pick 1 of them to put into his hand. So he's going to put the Buffy in. He wants to survive for the late game. If he can make it to the late game, he has this in the bag. The aggro deck can't really do much once you start getting things that are too big for them to handle. Thinking about something, but I don't... Oh yeah, Yeah, I've been getting more spells, ways to be able to be cast for quote-unquote free. So here he's using the alternate cost, which is flip to any 2 cards face down to deal 6 to all minions you do not control. That will help get the work that out of the way. But now he doesn't have 2 cards to put Shuichi into the healthy row, but that should be fine. Jesse's going to attack it to the high school sister, and then Shuichi is going to hit into the annoying brother, which is clearing the field. No other playable cards, he's going to have to end his turn. I see that trampoline got him 2, but only for that turn. So now he's going to have to go back to 3 now, while his opponent is going to be at 5 next turn. Britta would provide a little bit of ramp, but I think he's going to get aggressive here. Yep, he's going to use both of them to control his opponent's board. Going to send them back. Going to send them to the abandoned row. Nothing else really to do. He doesn't want to recover any of them. They're not important enough to flip cards over to recover. He probably should have done that for a work dad when he had the chance. Yeah, Buffy has an effect when a minion goes from the battle... When one of your minions goes from the battlefield to the abandoned pile, she gets a ready counter, which will reduce her cost, because you can play cards from the magic area. And Walter White is this deck's win condition. When he starts to attack while in the healthy row, you can attach up to 5 cards and deal that much damage to any target. So he's looking for 2 cards to attach. Attach is a gimmick, or mechanic. I guess it's also a gimmick that I've been wanting to play around with. Walter White's going to attach 2 to deal 2, and then he's going to attack into the Annoy Bro. That'll allow him to clear the board with just 1 minion. Walter White's really powerful. He used to be so much more powerful. He used to just straight up say deal damage equal to the number of cards in your abandoned pile, but that was way, way too good. And even with this limitation, he's still way too good, probably. He is thinking about the Great Mom here. It is... Well, it's not really on curve. 5 would be on curve, technically. But unfortunately, she's 1 damage off from being able to hit Walter White. So she's deciding she's got to get aggressive. Got to kill them before their Walter White goes out of control. You know, you can't let him knock. You just can't let him do it. And spend 6, and here's where the combo begins between Angel and Walter White. Because when you think of one, you think of the other. When Angel starts to attack, he gets to put a 3 cost or lower minion into the awkward row tapped. And so this will allow him to get Jesse Pinkman back out, and anytime Jesse Pinkman is placed, he gets to do his effect. Yeah, so the way when starts to attack works is you do that effect before officially declaring a target for that attack. Literally the Shuichi in case Angel's effect the next turn. Allows him to pull it back out. 2+4. I'm going to take out the Great Mom, send her to the awkward row. The second turn, player's got a really big hand. The aggro player, not being very aggressive right now. Could have set up the trampoline for Angel, but instead it's just gonna play Troy. Get aggressive or try to control here. Well, it doesn't matter because Drama Petals is going to come out. Flip a card, deal 4. So that'll prevent Troy from being able to hit anyone. Gonna flip over 4 cards to bring them both back to the front. Will he attack with the Great Mom or leave it back as a blocker? He's going to attack. The bottom player is seeing if they have a reaction. They do not. Jesse Pinkman gets controlled. Or gets sent away. Actually, you know what? The Great Mom's going to change her mind. Going to go face. Can't give the Walter White player too much time to set up, but... Not to mention attacking Jesse Pinkman would allow Angel to bring Jesse Pinkman back out, and the combo between Walter and Jesse will continue. Now speaking of combos, here's a pretty big one. Stitch is a 7-cost 10/10, but you have to put 3 cards from your magic area into your abandoned pile as an additional cost. So even if you found a way to make Stitch cost 0, you would still have to put at least 3 cards into the abandoned pile, and if you can do that, then even if it costs 0, you still couldn't play them. Jesse's going to attack into Troy. Counting his abandoned pile. Gonna attach those 3 cards. Yeah, Attach is basically this game's version of Exile, but more temporary. Angel's gonna get back Jesse Pinkman. Gonna put the phys ed teacher in, put the 2 annoying bros in the abandoned pile, and that'll be Walter's ammo for later. Yeah, just can't outsmart Walter. You know, if only Walter White had the power of Stitch in the TV show. Oh, man. I know people hate Universes Beyond and Magic, and I totally 100% get it, but man, working with the most random of IPs is honestly hilarious. Obviously, if I made this into a real game, I would not be using all of these. I would be sued out the ass. Angel's going to finally attack into Walter White. Bottom player looking for any protection, but none is in hand. There's very, very few cards that could be played on another player's turn. Drama Petals is just one of them. So Walter White's going to go into the awkward row. And Great Mom is going to hit for 16, but I do feel like the aggro player just couldn't defeat them in time. I'm pretty sure he has lethal on board even without Walter White's effect. Yep, gonna cast a Stink. Goes up to 6 cost, return Angel. Oh, blanking is a word that means flip a card face down, and then cleansing is flipping a card face up. Yeah, honestly, at this point, it's just BM. Yep, got a blink 3 for Walter. Walter has a pretty strong on-attack effect. Yep, Stitch is gonna swing for a massive 10. Walter's gonna swing for 5+2. Gonna be 7. Gonna bring the aggro player down to 1. And then Jesse and Angel. And then he's gonna see how much more. He's gonna see how much more you can do. Lots of BM going on here. No respect for aggro players in this video. At Blaster, he could play for free. Blaster is a 4 cost, but costs 2 less for each logic minion you control. And he controls 2 of them, so it's free. How much more damage could he do? I don't think he can do any more damage here. I think this is going to be, yep. This is the end of the match. Thank you for, well, this isn't really a devlog, and it's more just a test match. But, yeah, either way, hope you enjoyed. I hope my gameplay commentary was pretty good. I'll hopefully see you in the future.